It's yummy time.
YouTube! Hello! Yes, it is me, it's Yummy. I'm here to talk about the KC Cup. I guess I enjoy the KC Cup. I kind of don't, actually, let's be real. I kind of don't enjoy the KC Cup. But this was the main deck that I went into the KC Cup with. It was given to me by Hannah Montana, who I guess some people on my YouTube have issues with Hannah Montana, but I don't. He's a very nice guy. And it was really consistent and it got me a lot of wins. I don't know if you guys watched the KC Cup video where I got 10 wins in a row with it. That was pretty nice. I think overall, during my KC Cup run, I ended at so my highest was 15k points, which is better than last KC Cup, because I think last KC Cup I tried for 15 and then I ended at 12 or whatever, and I never got to 15. I think for the most part last KC Cup I had been on the fence with I was kind of teetering between 10,000 and 12,000. Finally, when I got to 12,000, I just ended it there. I was I don't want to play the KC Cup anymore. It's really discouraging to just lose points, tilt all the way back down to 0, and then have to start again. This KC Cup, I ended at 13,000 DP. I mean, that's it's better than last KC Cup for sure. But I think I had topped 15k. What does 13k even get me? 13k points. It gets me... Well, I don't even know what rank that is, but it's basically the same rewards as the people who get 0 DP. But people who have at least 1,000, 2,000 DP, they get an icon, they get a prismatic SR ticket, which I shouldn't have clicked that because now it's loading. They get a rare ticket and they get gold. And the difference between being ranked 30,000 and being rank 1,000 is more gold. You get more gold. Wow. So worth it, right? So worth it to just try and climb 20k ranks just to get a whopping, what is this? 200,000 gold. Amazing. All in all, KC Cup rewards are just not worth it. It's not worth it. For the most part, during the KC Cup, I ran into heroes. I think most people who are playing heroes right now are playing balance. I have heard people say that Endless Trap Hell is a really good skill or fun skill to use with heroes, but to me, that's just not as consistent, at least I think, as balance heroes, which can oftentimes give you... It'll give you a good chance of having a mass change in your starting hand. Not 100%, but it's just a really good chance. What, 50, 60% chance. Pretty good. Something that I faced a lot during the KC Cup, along with heroes, was a ton of Blue Eyes decks. I want to say, for the most part, during my KC Cup climb, heroes, Blue Eyes, and maybe the occasional vampire deck, but even then, that wasn't even really that often. I know a lot of people complain about vampires. I just don't see them as often as people complain about it. I don't know what they're talking about. I think that people usually go for Blue Eyes because it's really consistent with a trick up the sleeve. It gives you a Cosmo Brain in your starting hand. You get to discard either a Dragon Spirit of White or a Blue Eyes White Dragon to get this guy on the board that'll be 3,100 attack. And then if you have bingo, you don't have any dragons in your hand, you can just bingo one out. And then that'll get your combos rolling. I didn't run into much Champion's Vigilance, which I'm really thankful for, but a lot of the times, if they can set up their board and you don't have an out, a way to dodge their attacks with any back row, you're pretty much dead in one turn. So I guess that's why people went with Blue Eyes. I do think it is consistent. It's kind of the same thing as heroes, pretty consistent. I really enjoyed Spellbooks because Mind Scan helps you play around all the back row. I truthfully felt a little bit dirty playing Mindscan because I've never played Mindscan before, and being able to see your opponent's back row, it's pretty broken. You get to see what they set, you can properly play around it, and in combination with Silent Magician and Silent Magician level 8, you can negate spells with Silent Magician, and then if that goes away, you just get a level 8 on the board, and chances are your opponent can't even swing over it. So Mindscan works with your life points. The more life points that you have, the more back row you can see. And oftentimes, I didn't really drop below 3,000, 4,000 LP. A lot of the times, they didn't even get to touch my LP before I got to OTK my opponent. So Mindscan worked really well during the KC Cup, and it helped me just play around everything, see what was going on, and then just decide what I wanted to use my Spellbook of Fate on. And it made me not afraid of attacking into any back row or anything like that. Thanks Hanner Montana for the Spellbook deck. I really appreciate it. It made me like Spellbooks again. I actually haven't played Spellbooks in a really long time. Like probably, I don't know, like a few months or something. And I just didn't want to play it for a while because of how slow it can be to set everything up. But we just can't argue that Spellbook of Fate in combination with Silent Magician is really amazing. Breaker is an extra back row removal if you manage to just normal summon him, so yeah, pretty good. Overall thoughts for the KC Cup? I don't know, man. I don't like it. I think these global rankings are up at 80,000, almost 90,000 DP. That's insane. It's so crazy to me because, okay, I get it. I'm not anywhere near the skill level of these other players who have 60 DP, 60,000 plus DP. But even still, getting to 15,000, even trying for 20,000, like that's rough. It's mentally draining. Everybody who's doing the KC Cup is tryharding just to get the top, what, 3 ranks of top 3 global, I believe? If not, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, it might be top in your region or something. But competing in the KC Cup just to get the top 3 spots is just, it's too much. For 3 full days, people don't sleep during this time. They forget to eat sometimes. I'm pretty sure at the time that I watched again playing, he had been playing for 25 hours or something, if I'm not mistaken. That's crazy. It's crazy how competitive this is and how badly people want to fight for those top 3 spots. You don't even get anything if you get top 10 global. What are they gonna give you? Freaking more tickets? More gold? Oh, cool. Thanks, Konami. We're gonna get more tickets for all the URs that I already have in this game because I've already whaled out on all the boxes. And then you get a cool KC Cup icon that you just get to show up. Like, what does that mean to anybody? Nothing. So, I just wish that the KC Cup wasn't like this. There's just too many tryhards. And unless you're teetering between top 5 or something, I think it's pointless. I think there just needs to be a limited amount of duels probably for this to work. Maybe like a limited amount of duels per day, and then you can do it whenever you want to do it. And at that point, it won't be like a thing where people get potato farming hours or anything like that. They could play it at any point during the day, and all they have to do is do X amount of duels, and then that will be the assessment for who's the top player or what their rankings are. To wrap it up, KC Cup is just horrible, it's toxic, it's too much work, and people need to get their sleep, okay? I think the developers of this game need to realize that the stakes are so high just for those, you know, top 3 spots. And then the rewards for it are just, you know, nothing. So thanks Konami for hosting this amazing event. Thank you Kaiba Corp. Make sure to smash that like button if you also hate the KC Cup. Subscribe to me. Let's put T-Series out of business. Maybe we could be up there with PewDiePie. That's it. That's about all. Peace out.